Our esteemed dignitaries, the beautiful city.
For your presence. Welcome you all, sirs. I also welcome all the senior officers of Forest Department, all the DFOs, all the SAFs and staffs of the department who are present here. During these last 90 years, what changes and development taken place in the management of forest and what issues come across in the protection of forest and wildlife are needed to be discussed. For this discussion, a seminar is arranged tomorrow in 3 sessions on the theme. First is forest history, second is forest management, and the third one is current issues. So all the forest officers of the department are requested to attend this seminar. Lastly, once again, I welcome chief guests, guests of honors, president, all the invitees, and all forest officers, and everybody present here.
Forest department in the olden days, the head of forest department in those days, state forest officer or chief forest officer. He was the third highest paid government servant in the state, or rather in those days in the country. Manipur was a nation state in those days. Of course, after British occupation, then these posts were created, and he was the third highest paid officer after political agent. He was the top bureaucrat here. Even he was above the king of the state. And then next is, next highest paid was President of Manipur State Darbar. We call Soto Sahib, PMSD. So after that, chief forest officer came. So it was like that. The job in those days, the job of a forest officer or forest staff, it was very tough. They are the government office which will be found in the remotest corner of the state. It is the government office which will come up. For example, in places like Jirimukh and then More in those days, and then there's Tuyang Washong, Jesami, like that. In those all remote places, forest department was the first office to come up in those places. The first forest department came up as Urung Baloshan in 1525 AD, during the days of King Kabomba. In those days, the ranks were Hanjaba, Hidang, like that. The nomenclature is a bit different. And then, of course, during the days of King Pamahiba and Singthang Khomba, it was again upgraded to Urung Purel. It's like chief forest officer. This system continued till late stage, up to that 7 years devastation, that's Hitaret Khuntakpa, and later, even during the days of King Chandrakriti, till Anglo-Manipur War, this system existed. But after Anglo-Manipur War, after British came, this system was done away, because British, they had their own system of management. So it was done away, and then in the early 1890s, means 90 to 93, like that, British government, they tried to set up the forest department once again, because they knew that the revenue, unless it is from forest, then the state will have no revenue. So he tried to open up the forest, particularly in Jiri Barak drainage forest, to open up and to be sold, the product to be sold in British India. So it's Maxwell's initiative. Major Maxwell, you might have come across also, that Bor Sahib of Bor Sahib Umbi Sanatumbi. So that's the Colonel Maxwell. So he was very dynamic political agent. So he tried to open up this forest. Of course, it took again more than 7-8 years to open up that Jiri Barak drainage forest for management. And after that, in 1910 and 1913, European trained forest officers were hired so that we can set up forest department here and we can usher in that scientific management. But then again, I think forest department took the longest gestation period to be born. It was only in 1st November 1931 that forest department could be formally set up, with the appointment of one additional Darbar member. That Lairamem Ibn Mahal is the Darbar member in charge of forest. After that, a lot of development had taken place. Now it was set up as a only 3-man department. Now it is 1,700 personnel department. The long journey of 90 years, of course, now I'm not going to discuss it here. It will be discussed in tomorrow's seminar. Yes, Forest Department, Manipur, have something to be proud of course, certainly. One of that is that, of course, we still have, in spite of all the problems we are facing, that environmental problems we are facing, we still can boast of having forest cover of 75% plus.
The role the Forest Department and forest officers and staff of the Forest Department have to play in managing the forest in a scientific way, in trying to meet the basic needs of the people of forest produce, maybe it's timber or firewood or firewood, fodder, medicinal plants, so many things. And also in terms of ecosystem service, the forest and our forestry has to give for the services of the people and for the nation is tremendous. In trying to manage our forest in a very scientific way, as rightly said in the past by few speakers, we have many acts and rules and we have to go as per these acts and rules. And as per the provisions of these acts and rules, many times we have to say to the public, to the people, that don't do this, don't do that, don't cut the trees, don't kill wildlife and all these things. So many don'ts, and this contradicts with the interest of the people. So it's a very, very challenging job to be in the Forest Department. Many people say Forest Department is doing something, but no, still forest resources are degrading, the forest cover is reducing, growing stock is reducing. It may be right, but let's imagine, have not the Forest Department and forest officers not there in the state, what could be the situation of the status of forest in the state? Let us imagine that way. Let me just give an example. Take a metro city, say for example Delhi. There was a traffic jam, and because of the traffic jam, government thought, yeah, we have to do something, and they started constructing flyovers. After construction of the flyover, still there was a traffic jam. So there was no answer. Then ultimately they thought, no, we have to start metro service. Metro service also started. Still there is a congestion. Still there is a traffic jam. In the same way, had the Forest Department and forest officers not been there in our state, or for that purpose in the country, or elsewhere, one can very well imagine what will be the situation of the forest and environment in the state. Let us take that way. We have done tremendous job in terms of protecting the forest, in terms of managing the forest in a very scientific way, in terms of meeting the basic needs of the forest people, forest dependent people, in terms of their livelihood, in terms of meeting basic firewood and fodder needs, timber. But the pressure on the forest on account of increase in population is tremendous, is increasing day by day. So it's a very, very challenging job. We have done considerably remarkable job in terms of conserving the catchment areas, protecting the wildlife, and meeting the challenges of climate adaptation and climate mitigation in today's present situation. So we should be proud to be a forester, and we have to continue our fight to protect and conserve our forests.
When I joined the service, it was a different situation. The villagers were not ready to sell the put grains to the forest officers, to the forest personnel, because they are the ones who are trying to stop us, to stop our culture, to stop our practice. Sing ya laga, uya laga hing mane. They were selling the trees, they are selling, cutting the trees, selling it for their generating incomes. There are times people were against us. Catching a bird, nowadays even catching a bird, people are coming and helping you catch a bird and hand it over those culprits. This is a perceptual change. People are coming and protecting the forest, raising the trees. Those days we were taken as enemies, now they are taking us as friends, because they are the ones who are working for us. This perception change, let us take the advantage of it. Our duty is, foresters are resource managers. The IS are, their job is law order, land management, not man management. Police are law and orders, their job. Our jobs are alienated. Is it not? As a resource manager, we have to manage our resource. Resource, you have to manage land resource and natural resource. These are the job of the foresters. So the perception of the people is now being changed. We should not lose these opportunities. We should keep it higher and higher. Perception is totally different. Perception, when I joined the department, or when I was about to leave the department, after 10 years of my departure from the department, perception is changing, graph is up. We are seeing it, we are happy to see all your activities from a distance. Never forget that we are recycled foresters. Still now I am a forester. Forestry has joined in our bloods. God, thank you for reminding us in this 90th day of forestry. I once again thank Mr. Joshi and all the serving officers for reminding us and inviting us to this function.
I'm indeed very kind of grateful to all the retired officers who are present here for accepting our invitation, and to these two wonderful speeches that we have just heard. One by Mr. Thambo Singh, who has shared his thoughts, his ideas, his experiences, and I think which our young officers will, have a lot of things to learn from them. And of course, Ibobi Saab has also kind of, touched upon the importance of forest, and he was talking about the ecosystem services, and he was talking about the, even though the forest department is doing many things, but sometimes things are not visible in the field, and degradation is still going on, and deforestation is still going on, and neither are we able to meet the demands of wood or timber. Neither are we able to kind of ensure the flow of ecosystem services. This is a challenge before us, before not only us in Manipur Forest Department, but in the rest of the country, and in fact in the whole world. Wherever forestry is being practiced, I think these are the issues which are being debated in the world everywhere. As we speak, the Glasgow summit is on, the COP26 on climate change. Now, forests has a very important role to play in climate change, as all of us are aware. Our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Modi is attending the Glasgow summit this time. Our Union Minister, I'm not sure, but he might be there because in yesterday's programs in the ministry which were held, the Union MOS, Ashwini Chaubey, which Manbir was mentioning, he had attended them. It's kind of, I don't know if any of you are members of a group in Delhi. There are hardly any forest officers in the delegation, which is going to COP26, to the Glasgow summit, which is kind of not a very correct kind of a situation. So somehow forest officers have to, be more active, be more proactive, be more kind of vocal, and show that they are also important stakeholders. Not only important, but very crucial stakeholders as far as climate change negotiations are concerned. This is just kind of a aside that I thought I'll mention here. Coming to today's function, at the outset, I would like to salute, congratulate, and compliment all of you present here. I especially remember and acknowledge the death of all retired forest department members, very stalwart members. Some of them, of course, are not here with us any longer, but remain in our memories and narratives. And to all the retired officers who have served the state and laid down the foundation of the department. And Thambo Sahab was mentioning the kind of perception change that has happened. So it is all because of the effort of all these retired officers, because the hard work that they have put in the field, and they have worked in very difficult and very trying times, and when the importance of forest was not considered much, like when it was whenever we talk of the budget to the forest department was considered a minor department, and like Thambo Sahab is saying, why to put money into the jungle, why to put forest, it will come on its own, so why to fund the department. So these were the kind of things that were being faced. And then, of course, there was encroachment and all those things. And land ownership is a very big issue here in Manipur, because the status is almost very ambiguous, which we are still facing. But even then, we are very happy to see that the perception of the people has changed, and the forest department is no longer seen as a kind of, what should I say, enemy, or some kind of department which is trying to prevent the people, though maybe in some parts it still is there, but let's hope that with our constant efforts we will be able to deal with this issue. And it is because of the field staff that many of the things which we are saying, that the perception of people is changing and everything, because they are there in the field and they are the face of the department. And so when they change, then only the perception also changes. They are the brave and hardy warriors who have to be in the forefront of conservation and protection. They are the ones who have to deal with the criminal element, the lawbreakers, the offenders, the poachers and all. So how can we forget them? They risk their safety and comfort to protect our forest and wildlife. We have to think at what can be our holistic impact and what would be our future roadmap for conservation, for protection, for development of forestry. climate change I mentioned. Now again, I'll come back to it. I mean, it's a very surprising. No forester is part of the delegation. So somewhere it's a national kind of this thing that we have not made ourselves relevant, and that is why I mean, I can't comment more than that. So this is what my message is, that we have to celebrate today. We have to enjoy this moment. We have to enjoy this coming togetherness and celebrating the 90th Foundation Day. But at the same time, again, we have to kind of have some kind of introspection also, and to think for the future.
I also may not be here again, or I may be here again next time. So my retirement is unpredictable, but I wanted to make a point that at least when I have a privilege, I also attend this program. I salute all the retired officers who have served this department since the inception of this department way back in 1931. Because of them, we're here today. As our guest of honor have mentioned in his speech, they have sufficiently mentioned all the history as well as sufficient advice to the officers who are serving today also. Forest Department is one of the department which is not appreciated by many, but with the biggest responsibility to save the human race today and future also. Our service will never go in vain. Many may realize and many may not realize that we go on with our life in this planet because there are people who are nurturing the future in the form of serving as a forest officers or the forest staff in forest department in our state, also in other places, in other states also. Nevertheless, whether people realize the importance of our service or not, I'm sure you have the satisfaction of serving the humanity in the form of service in this department. Our life goes on as our officers who have done their part and have left this department in active service, but they are still active as long as they live. Many people very sincerely have no idea about our forest rules, our forest act, the importance of our service, not as a officer in the department, but the service that we are rendering to the human beings, human race. So, out of ignorance, many interference we have come across. As our retired officers have said, we have faced many tough times. And our officers today are also facing a tough time, many a time, with nothing to say sometime, with no way to escape sometime. But when we stick on to the rules and acts which is laid down in order to protect forests, which is in process protect the future of human beings. We have to, be sincere with our assignment Today, many may say you are not listening. Many may say that you are not cooperative. But when you are off the track and when you are not cooperative, of course you will have no blessing. You will have no blessing. But as long as you are within the parameter of the rules and act which you are supposed to follow, no matter what situation you face, I will still say you will be blessed. Because whether people who are ignorant about your roles or whether people who are conscious about your roles will be benefited by what you have done. Percentage, or rather I may say degree of people's consciousness, the perception of the people have changed a lot. And I congratulate all the officers of today, also the past, who have been tirelessly working, not only to save the nature, which includes all what is, I will say that God's gift, including human beings. I take note of the suggestion made by one of our officers about awarding our forest officers as well as the office of forest employees like the police and other departments who are acknowledged in the form of giving awards as a meritorious award or whatever awards. I'll take up this matter with the Honorable Chief Minister. I think this is a very rightful thing. Like I said,
Principal Chief Conservator and Head of Forest Force, Government of Manipur, respected guests of honor, Sir K. Tambok Singh, IFS Leader and the former Additional Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Sir T.C. Bobby Singh,